Alright, so I want to go ahead and just throw out some fun little random facts that I have gathered since I haven't posted a video in a little while, and that kind of sucks. First of all, Japanese baseball, the rule is that you can only have 3 Westerners on a team, and no more than 2 can be on the field at a time, which is racist. But apparently, from what I'm told, the idea behind that is that people will be less interested in the game if there's not a bunch of Japanese people on the field. So, I don't know, I thought that was pretty interesting. It's just three Americans per team, no more than 2 on the field at a time. I had some Kobe beef, and that was delicious. Basically, the way that it works is that you go there and you order for, I don't know, like, it's a really nice place, probably for like $12. From something between like $9 and $12, you get, like, I'm gonna say 4 little. If you've ever had sashimi, it's like the size of a piece of sashimi, so it's like a little piece, and it's a little piece of meat, and there's a little grill in the middle of the table, and you just kind of throw it on there, turn it over. You just enough to get it warm. It has to be rare, and then you pop it in your mouth, and it's literally kind of like butter. It's like meat butter. It's like meat candy. It's delicious, and it's the place I went to. It's so high quality you can actually eat it cold and raw, and so I did because that's tasty, and I'm still here, so it looks like I'm fine. But it's really delicious. We ordered just me and my friends. Everybody got something different, and everybody just kind of picked around. So I had some rib meat, 2 different kinds of I think filet mignon, like that kind of cut, I think, and then I also had some tongue. So it was really good. Yeah, and then you just order some bowls of rice to fill yourself up, and by then you have yourself a really good meal. The reason Kobe beef is so good is because they raise the cows in the mountains to protect their secrets. But from what I hear, they feed the cows beer, and they give them like full body massages every day. So it's a pretty good life, and then they wind up being something really tasty. So feeling good to be one of those cows, I guess. What else do I got down here? Japanese tongue twisters. I learned some, which is a backwards sentence. I learned some Japanese tongue twisters. Basagasu bakahatsu is bus gasoline explosion. A kapajama, o pajama, cha pajama, ki pajama. And that's red pajama, blue pajamas, brown pajamas, yellow pajamas. And then I also learned namamugi, namagome, namatamago. And that's raw dough, uncooked rice, raw egg. So it's pretty fun to just kind of throw out there. Getting pretty fluent, I would say. I went to a museum the other day, and I had a conversation with this woman about symbolism in a 7th century statue that I saw, and I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun just speaking the language. I go around, people ask me where I'm from, and I tell them that I'm studying abroad, and then they assume that I misspoke. So a question I've been getting a lot that gives my fancy a really good tickle is, are you a sensei? Are you a professor at the university where you're at? And I'm just like, no, I'm still learning, still just a student. But I've been having a really good time. I met a crazy woman on a bus the other day. I was sitting there trying to catch a train back from. I was out, like, just kind of looking around, eating some food and stuff. And on the train ride home, I hopped in a seat, and I realized the woman across from me had like dyed bright yellow hair, like this middle-aged, heavy-set woman. And so as soon as the other woman left, she looks at me and she goes, "American?" And I say, "Yes." And then she goes, "Japanese okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I speak Japanese." Only what I'm saying was in Japanese. What she was saying was actually that kind of English. And so then we had a conversation in Japanese, and I told her that I was going to go to Beijing next year. And she was just a crazy woman. And she was just like, "Oh, wow, my husband, he's in Beijing right now for the Olympics, and so we have a condo there, and he goes back and forth. When you're in Beijing, you can come to our condo if you want, so go ahead and come to our condo. And I was just like, gotta go. So I left the train, because it was my stop, actually, which was lucky, because I was just trying to get the hell out of there. What else do I have? Onomatopoeias. Japanese has a lot of onomatopoeias, and that's fun. For example, zaza buteru is the onomatopoeia for hard-hitting heavy rain, so they just call it zaza. All the animals have different noises, obviously. Frogs say gero gero. Cows go moo, which is, I guess, pretty similar to what we say. A funny one I heard today was apparently, if you say, people kita, like, or just like people kita, a little kid will say that, and that means that he's injured. And the reason they say people is because that's the onomatopoeia for an ambulance. People. And so they just say, like, they just throw out an onomatopoeia and turn it into a verb. They'd be like in English if we were like, oh, I just had a woo as our word for an accident in which I got injured. So, I don't know, I think that's pretty funny. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to go into list a big list, but just something to think about. If any of you guys are ever interested in hearing, I'm not going to throw it on this video right now, but let me know if you're ever interested in hearing about semantics of the Japanese language, or linguistics in general. I don't know how boring that'll be for everybody else, but if there's sufficient demand, then I'll make a video for that. But in the meantime, that looks like all I have down. Oh, and most people in Japan have a crazy hobby. There's a lot of nerds. They're called Otaku here. Some of you might know that, but Otaku is actually the Japanese word for a really polite way to refer to someone's home. Like, I'm gonna come over your Otaku. So if you call someone an Otaku, that's saying that they never leave their house, and so they're a nerd and they just collect manga. But I thought that there was just anime Otaku, but apparently there's other kinds of Otaku, like there's train Otaku here in Japan, of people that know every name of every stop in every train line in Japan. It's pretty wild. Oh, and I found out today that 8% of the Japanese population lives in Tokyo, and that's pretty ridiculous. It's something like 11 million people live in this one city. So I'll tell you how crazy it is when I get there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I love you back at home, and I'll talk to you later.